Good morning, channel. This morning I woke up and I found we finally got new DDD support, and we got a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 total cards. A little arbitrary. I was hoping we can get 10 even. And by the looks of it, doesn't even look like we're getting the actual support from the anime, but brand new support. So I haven't looked at any of these cards yet at all, their effects or anything like that, just the initial reactions of what people are doing over here. So we're just going to go through each of them one at a time and see how good they are. So let's start with this guy. Dimensional Contract. Continuous trap card. Each of the effects of 1 and 3 of this card's name can only be used once per turn. So that means we can use 2 a couple more tiles. Okay, never mind. 2 is activate during your standby phase. So it's a dark contract card. It's called Dimensional Contract. That may be a translation error since people are trying to make it nice and ready for us. So thank you to whoever made these things. So the cards are ready for us to see in English, but the translation may be off. So this is probably a dark contract card. So the effects of 1 and 3 of this card's name can only be used once per turn. You can return 2 contract cards from your graveyard to your deck, then target 1 card on your opponent's field or in the graveyard, banish that card. So right off the bat, that implies that these new supports are going to be heavily relying on dark contracts, meaning that we're probably going to utilize a few more that we've never really used before. King of Yamamakai, for example, comes to mind. No one really uses it. It's more pendulum support, and by the looks of it, we might be going that route just by looking at this one card saying that you have to use more dark contracts, and we really only use Swamp and Gate and Patent License, and that's really it. So we might get a few more contracts down the list, or might finally be able to use some of the other dark contracts as well. The other effect, you can activate this when this card is destroyed. You regain 500 life points. If this card is destroyed by your opponent's effect, you also regain 500 life points. So I don't know if that's a good effect. Maybe it's going to do something for us. Maybe we're getting cards that are life point gaining, kind of like burn damage. Because I know we have one dark contract in the anime where if you bounce back a card, that contract lets your opponent take damage equal to the monster you send back's defense. So maybe we're doing something with that with the other cards. I don't know. Let's find out. But a way we can utilize this to its full effect is if someone targets or destroys back row, we just activate this card and then chain link 1, the first effect, to return 2 contracts from the graveyard back into the deck, and then target 1 card on field and banish it, and then we gain the 1000 life points. So I think that's the best way to use that card. I don't think we're going to really be using it for the 1000 damage. Since it is a continuous trap card, of course it's fodder for Deus Machina, so that's also great. Back row space is pretty limited, so I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that. It returns 2 dark contracts from the graveyard to the deck, meaning we can say 2 gates, for example, or we can utilize, after we do the whole combo with Patent License, return Patent License to reuse it or actually use it as the field spell is intended. We can use this thing once since we're going to have dark contracts after our initial combos, but we're also maybe not going to be able to utilize this thing on turn 2, so it's best to use it on Deus Machina for fodder or let your opponent destroy it, or one of those 2 situations. I don't think we're going to be using this more than once. Next card, DD Defense Soldier. First impressions, it's a lion with a shield. I'm not too thrilled with the name Defense Soldier. It's going to be our version of Gardenos most likely, just by the name alone and the fact that it only has defense. It sucks that it's not a pendulum monster, but maybe its effect is going to be great. Level 2 means that we're probably going to utilize the new support we just got recently to turn this guy into like a level 4. It's not a tuner either, so we're not going to do synchro summon with him or anything like that. Oh, it says level 4, but it's actually level 2, so maybe there's a typo somewhere, either on the text or on the actual card. Hopefully it's the card. I mean, another level 4 DD monster would be great. I'm not thrilled with the name because it just seems lazy. Defense Soldier. I mean, we've gotten so many cool names, and now we're getting to Defense Soldier, but whatever. Each of the effects of this card's name can only be used once per turn, so it's locking it in. You can choose and activate one of the following effects. Okay, so the first effect has multiple effects. You can activate this by targeting 1 DD card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon this card. Okay, so if you have it on the field, you can summon any pendulum monster, which is pretty cool. You can activate this by banishing 1 DD monster from your graveyard. If your DD monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. That's actually pretty good. It's a pretty solid fodder. You can activate this by banishing this card from the graveyard. Add 1 DD Pendulum monster from your extra deck face up or graveyard to your hand. That's pretty cool. I can already see that comboing off with DD Griffin for the second effect, so that way you don't have to activate the Pendulum effect if you get Thomas. So you no longer need Thomas. We can finally utilize Foolish Burial in addition to having 3 Copernicus. I think that would make this card a pretty good card. Or utilize it with Patent License if we can, just to send it to the graveyard. Its first effect, you can choose to activate the effect. You can activate this by targeting 1 DD card in your Pendulum Zone. Special summon that card. So that's pretty cool. We can summon any of our boss monsters like Laplace or Zero King Rage or the Doom King, since the title is Doom of Dimension for the set, right? I imagine we're going to get some level of Doom King support. So maybe this is one of the ways we can soft summon it once we summon the trio. I haven't played the game in a while now, so I don't know what the new ban lists or maybe new sets that are being released out or anything like that are, or the ban list at all. So I saw that it might be hand trap heavy, so maybe it would be in our best interest to summon all 3 Doom Armageddons, or maybe just Bright Armageddon first and then go off so we don't get targeted by hand traps. But anyway, when it gets destroyed eventually, which it will be, summoning this guy to the field, and even in attack mode, and then summoning your card would be great. Oblivion King would be great. This is a solid mid-game monster, because Oblivion usually stays in the extra zone. So maybe you can summon this guy, special summon one of the new cards we just recently got, or the Surveyors. The other level 2, activate Oblivion, summon something, and then use the Soldier's effect to summon Oblivion to summon another card, and then we get 4 cards on the field. I think that'd be pretty cool. So it's definitely a solid card. I like it. I'm not a fan of the name, but the card itself, the effects definitely make up for it. So it's a very good card. I like it. Next, we got DD Lance Soldier, another terrible name, but it's fitting because of the Lancers. It's a tuner, so we have a level 2 tuner monster. Each of the effects, 1 and 2 of this card's name, can only be used once per turn. You can activate this effect by targeting 1 DD monster on the field. Increase that monster's level by the number of contract cards on your field and in your graveyard. I don't think we're going to be utilizing that too much unless there's a combo that people have already thought of, where you have your 2 standard contracts to make a monster level 4. Okay, so that's one thing. If this card's in the graveyard, so another grave effect, you can activate this effect by targeting 1 contract card on your field, destroy that card, and special summon this card. This card's special summon by this effect is banished if it leaves the field. Okay, so again, another good card for Foolish Burial, Copernicus, or if you're one of those players that uses Grass is Greener. I can think of a few people in the Discord that love giant decks and love using Torn-ish strategies. So this is a good card for that. You can special summon it, and then you can activate its effect by targeting a DD card in the field and then increasing its level. So it's going to be a level modulator. Maybe we can use Gust King Alexander once again with this card. Special summon it. We normally have level 4 monsters, right? So we can get level 6 or activate its effect, level 7, maybe 8. So there are options here. I'm not sure if it's the best unless we get another Synchro Summon. There's more combos with Gust King that I'm not aware of. We got the other level 2 monster, but I think it's actually level 4. I don't know if there might be a translation error. Between Lamia and Lancer, maybe both of these cards are actually not that bad. I would run maybe 1 of each, just because they have different utility. But I do like it's a level 2 tuner, maybe because we're getting more Synchro monsters or utilizing better ways to summon Bright Armageddon. Next card, Zero King's Contract. Okay, we got DD Dog, and then in the back we have Zero King Rage. For the purposes of the rules, this card's name is also treated as a DD card. Okay, so it's a DD spell, so that's pretty cool. It just has a different name. You can only use this effect of this card's name once per turn. You can activate this effect by targeting 1 DD card on the field other than Pact of Zero King. Destroy that card. You can activate this effect by targeting 1 DD card on the field other than this card, destroy that card and special summon one DD monster from your deck. After activating this effect, you can only special summon DD monsters. That's pretty good. Okay, so it lets you trade a contract to summon a monster from the deck. That's pretty cool. You take 1,000 damage. I mean, again, this is another thing that I mentioned earlier. We're probably going to be working more with dark contracts now. If you draw poorly and have discard another dark contract, then you can go ahead and use gate to get a card and then summon another card. So this is actually pretty great. I would definitely run this card at 3. It's pretty great. Next card we have, Link 3, DDD Sky King Zuzu Ragnarok. He basically just looks like Oblivion Wave King. I don't know why he looks like this. I mean, maybe he elevated into a Link 3. Link 3s are better than fusion monsters. I don't know. Link 3 Dark Fiend Link effect, 2200 attack for a Link 3 kind of sucks. Link markers are at the bottom, which means of course we can pendulum 3 monsters, which is actually pretty great. So I'm guessing people were going to go into Gilgamesh and then summon 1 card and then, you know, go into Link 3 after we get our scale so we can summon 3 monsters at the same time. That's pretty cool. You need 2 or more DD monsters, which is, of course is fair. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. You can activate this by targeting 1 DD or dark contract card on your field. Destroy that card. In addition to your normal pendulum summon, you can pendulum summon a DD monster once during your main phase. It says DD monster instead of monster, so I don't know if it means we can pendulum summon, like again, like if we pendulum summon twice with Gilgamesh and then summon this guy as an alternative, then we can pendulum summon 3 more if it's just 1 card. I don't know if that means, you know, like when we get the actual translation, we're going to find out. But that monster only in no parentheses S means that we can only summon 1 monster, which I think is fine. Normally our combos somehow end up with Oblivion King in the hand back or some way to get it back, and then we can pendulum summon once again to get something from the graveyard, for example, and then continue to going on. But I think it's, honestly, this card's a win more card, unfortunately. It's good. It's just for overextending, and we're not really on that, at least not my playstyle. When your opponent activates the effect of a monster in their hand, so again, anti-hand trap, we're in the hand trap era now, right? You can banish 1 DD monster and 1 contract card from your graveyard to activate this effect. Negate the activation. It doesn't look like it's a once per turn thing. You can banish 1 DD monster and 1 dark contract card from your graveyard. So banish support is definitely something we're going to utilize. So maybe we can bring back DD Ghost unless they gave us more support for him. But that's cool. But summoning him a little late is gonna be hurtful, because by the time we summon this guy, all the hand traps your opponent would have used them by now. I mean, some Copernicus, Kepler, whatever the case, they're going to use hand traps on us. So maybe this is for their turn when your opponent activates the monster effect in the hand. I mean, it doesn't have to be for hand traps, right? It can be like they activate a card in the hand to summon or activate its effect, and then we can just negate it. But it only negates, it doesn't destroy, so that kind of sucks. But as a Link 3, I kind of would have hoped for better. I'm sure some folks are just going to be loving it. It could be an anti-Nibiru card. I don't know. I would have to do the summoning, but then that means we're stuck on this guy. Unless we have a bunch of hand cards, monsters in the hand that we can utilize. I think it's okay. It's not great. It's not the best thing. I don't know what the current meta is, so maybe the secondary effect here is going to be great, and the fact that it's not a once per turn thing. Oh no, you can only use the effects of this card. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. There's got to be a translation thing, so it might be a once per turn thing. If it's not, then this would actually be a little broken, but again, we would need more dark contracts and more DD cards. Moving on, we got a new rank 4 DDD Wisdom King Solomon. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It would have been cool if he was a light monster, because we're getting, because the extra deck monsters, they have different attributes, right? We have water, fire, wind, earth, if you guys forgot about Darius. So getting like a light would have been cool, unless they're saving it for like a really cool extra deck monster that just happens to be light. But the fact that this guy's glowing, I mean, immediately I thought light monster. That would have been cool. But anyway, 2 DD monsters, level 4s. Effects of 1 and 2 of this card's name can only be used once per turn. Okay. You can activate this effect by detaching 1 XC material from this card. Add 1 DD card from your deck to your hand. Whoa, that's actually really good. So it's a surgery immediately. I can think of a bunch of things we can get. I mean, just the surveyors alone makes this card already worth running at least that 1. Second effect, if this card is banished, so we're getting banished support based on the other cards, makes sense. You can activate this effect by targeting 1 DD effect monster on your field. Okay, That effect monster gains the following effect until the end of this turn. Activate when this card destroys a monster by battle. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. That's an interesting graveyard effect. I mean, it does more damage, so that's pretty cool. We have another rank 4 Caesar. Caesar gets a dark contract when it's sent to the graveyard. In order to get that effect, we normally go into Teller King and then it becomes a whole thing. This card might actually replace Caesar. I mean, the extra deck is already pretty full. Defender Soldier, you can activate this by banishing this card from the graveyard, so we get a banish. You can activate this card, summon from the deck. If this card is banished, means we have to banish it manually ourselves, meaning this would not be banished during a turn 2 thing, so we can probably utilize a contract with the Swamp to banish it from the graveyard after we use it in turn 1. Activate its effect on one of the Doom Kings, or since, I'm going to assume people are going to want to summon Doom Kings more often. I'm still hoping we get the DDD Fusion Synchro Exceed cards to utilize Doom King. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so this is a turn 2 monster effect for the second one. The first one is already pretty great because, I mean, we don't need Caesar anymore, right? Because we have the Surveyors. Activate this effect, get a DD Surveyor, I forget which one, the one that lets you discard a DD special summon, and then you get to add a DD monster from the hand, normal summon, Kepler, you get a contract. So goodbye Caesar. That's unfortunate, but being a rank 4 water might be useful because of those water deck users that like to, mess with us. Having rank 4 Caesar is actually very useful for that. Okay, new DDD Founding King Clovis, level 6, which means, okay, that makes sense why we got that tuner. If this card is special summon, you can target one of your banished DD monsters. If you have a contract card on the field, you can target it from the graveyard instead. You can target one of your banished DD monsters, special summon that monster. I think that's great, especially during mid to late game, because at least for the main strategy that I like to follow is, get it to mid and late game, not get instantly kill and not OTK right away. Anyway, if this card is banished, you can activate this effect during this turn. If your DD monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict damage to your opponent by the amount its attack is. Okay, so piercing damage. Okay, so again, another support card to end the game quickly for High Gust King, for example. So maybe it's going to be utilized for that. It's not a win monster, which I thought it might be for the motif and all that. We got DDDD Great Dimension King Arc Crisis. Damn, he looks like a Doom King, like he got like the head of a Doom King went on this guy or something. That's pretty cool. Scale of 13 is great. That means we can summon any of our boss monsters, including like the level 10s and the Doom Kings from the extra deck that technically are pendulum monsters, so they go face up. You can pendulum summon again. Now we have a need for the rank 3 DDD if we summon all the Doom Kings. So the rank 3 DDD is going to be a mid-game option for me. I summon all 3 main DDD monsters as my opening turn. Opponent gets rid of them. I go into Gilgamesh and then into the rank 3. And then now maybe I can utilize this guy into becoming a scale. So let's see. R monster effects. I don't know what R means. A total of 4 Fiend type fusion S. I'm going to assume that means Synchro, XP, so Exceed Pendulum maybe, and Pendulum monster. Okay, so you need Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, Pendulum, and another Pendulum monster. So total of 4. Do you need exactly 4, or can some of them, like for example, Pendulum Synchro monster, like would that be enough to summon this guy? So we're going to wait for the actual translation of this. So DDDD Great Dimensional King Arc Crisis can only be special summoned once per turn by fusion summon or the following methods. Okay, so we got a couple options. If you banish the above cards from your field or graveyard, you can special summon it from the extra deck. Okay, so we don't have to fusion summon. We don't have to utilize we can utilize Smile Universe. the card that Yuya uses to summon all his pendulum monsters, you're going to give your opponent a buttload of life points. But then you can use cards like there's Nurse Reticule, for example. We can turn DDD into one of those like the Valence Worlds has an OTK for burn damage. We can utilize the same thing now with DDD, now that I'm thinking about it. Nurse Reticule or Dark Simochi, whatever, that trap card that, decreases your life points when you increase it. So we can utilize that with the Doom Kings. That's pretty cool. You can banish the above cards from the field or graveyard special summon. Okay, we're not going to do that, especially, we can do that unless that XP means Exceed Pendulum. I hope it doesn't, because we only have one. You can activate this effect. Okay, so you have two ways of summoning it. That first effect and then regular, fusion summon or whatever other options with the Dark Contract cards. You can activate this effect when this card is special summoned. The effect of all face monsters on your opponent's side of the field are negated. So it's a much better version of Kali Yuga, which is great right off the bat. This card can attack all opponent's monsters once each. That's crazy. But attacking all monsters from the field with 4,000 attack is already pretty great. It's going to run over most everything. The effect of all face monster on your opponent's field. Okay, it's only face-up monsters, so it's not like Kali Yuga. It only targets monsters, but that's fine. This card can attack all opponent's monsters once each. You can activate this effect when this card is in the monster zone, is destroyed. Place this card in the pendulum zone. Okay, so it needs to be destroyed. Going to the pendulum zone. That's fine. And then pendulum effect. You can only use this card's name's pendulum effect once per turn. You can target any number of contract cards on your field. Destroy them. Afterwards, you can special summon Death King, I'm going to assume Doom King, and pendulum monsters from your deck or extra deck up to the number of destroyed. 5 with the patent license, so we can summon 5 Doom Kings, which we already have the 3, and then we can add the regular Doom Kings into the main deck, right? So we can at most destroy 4 or 3 from your deck or extra deck face up to the number destroyed. So we can utilize this to get the Doom Kings back, and we can even summon 2 additional ones if we have enough contracts on the field. That's a great boss monster. I'm sure this is going to be the cover of Doom of Dimensions. Now we can only get more Doom King support. Next card is DDD 0 Death King. That's a name. Skill of 0, always good. Level 2, interesting. Attack 3000, that's pretty great. Each of the monster effects of 1 and 2 of this card's name can only be used once per turn. When this card is face up in your extra deck and a face-up DDD or Dark Contract on your field other than DDD 0 Death King is destroyed, you can activate this effect. It can also be activated during the damage step. Okay, so it means we can ram our DD monsters into somebody. Special summon this card. Okay, that's great. Afterwards, you can destroy 1 card on the field. Oh my god, that's amazing. So we can utilize the other surveyor that puts monster from the main deck into the extra deck. We can also utilize, there's a pendulum spell card that lets you put any pendulum monster in your face-up extra deck. So I think we can utilize that as an easier way to do it, or of course the surveyors. So I forget which one. I think it's the one that nobody liked, but I think now they're gonna like it and utilize it with 0 Death King over here. Secondary effect: when this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can activate this effect. Place it in your pendulum zone. Oh, that's actually pretty good. They attack into your monster. You summon this guy as an option. Maybe they don't have 3000 attack anymore. In case they do, that's another wall for you. Then you get to place it in your pendulum zone, which most likely you won't have any cards in there after you utilize your cards. It's a 0 scale, and then you can utilize a higher scale to go crazy in the pendulum summoning. And then its pendulum effect. The pendulum effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. During your main phase of the turn this card was activated, you can place 1 contract pendulum spell or trap card face up from your deck to your field. During your main phase of the turn this card was activated. So that translation seems a little off. It might be implying that you can only activate it during the main phase, and that's it. You can place 1 contract permanent spell, contract, or trap card face up from your deck to your field. That's actually a great card. Holy jeez. The translation's a little off. It looks like a lady now that I'm looking at the card specifically. Rage King's girlfriend or something, because they're both 0. But anyway, moving on. Do we have any more cards? Yes. Oh no, that was it. So that's my initial reaction to these cards that we've had so far. I think they're pretty great support, especially utilizing 3 of these. Definitely going 1 of these. Definitely main deck. Maybe 1 for sure. I don't know. I have to look at different ways to utilize it. I'm sure it's been 7 to 8 hours since the release of these cards have been made the announcements. So we'll see where we are with them and how we can do it. When we get them on Edo, or if you guys know another place where these cards are already located so I can utilize them and test them, let me know and I will definitely do that. Anyway, this video's gone long enough already. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think of the cards, which cards are you going to be utilizing, which of them you're not going to actually be using at all, and if this guy is actually overhyped. I really wish we got the Link 1 to pop off into summoning a DD monster from the main deck and then going into Gil, but a rank 3 is also nice, especially because now I'm sure the reason we have these 3 Link arrows is to summon the Doom Kings again with the 0 and then the scale of 13, which is pretty cool. So I look forward to that. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.